Welcome to another Narc Survivor live video. In this one, as you can see, I am driving in the car. As you may know, I'm in Taiwan. It's about 9 p.m. at night. I haven't even found a place to stay. I had quite a surprise today when I went to a shop. As I opened my wallet and I discovered that my debit card is missing. And normally I do have a credit card as well, but I lost that last year, somewhere in Malaysia. So today I discovered that I have lost my debit card as well, which means I now have no cards and I only have a very small amount of cash, maybe $20 in my wallet. I might have lost the cards maybe a few days ago, I'm not sure. I'm now on a 2-hour trip back to where I just came from, towards the north of Taiwan, in an effort to try and find it. I'm thinking maybe I left it in this ATM. I've already checked all the Airbnbs where I stayed, just in case. Just imagine it being in a foreign country. You're on the other side of the world from where you live. You've lost all your cards. All you've got is $20 in cash. Luckily, I can still pay through PayPal and Airbnb. I can't go to a shop and use my cards. I also can't go to an ATM and withdraw cash. And I've got about $20 left. So if I'm lucky, it's enough for a few meals. Of course, on this 2-hour trip, I'm losing a lot of fuel as well. I mean, to be fair, it is quite a difficult situation. I mean, it's something where any normal person in this situation, they would likely panic. They would probably cry. I mean, of course, if you're on the other side of the world, you're on your own, you're not with any friends, you're a solo traveler, you've got no means of withdrawing cash, you've got no card that you can use. All you can really do is pay for a place to stay. Might be difficult to get fuel, even to get food as well. I mean, of course, anyone in this situation, they would likely panic. But believe it or not, after all of the things that I've been through with narcissists, in this situation right now, I'm actually not panicking. I wouldn't say that I'm comfortable, but as you can see, I'm not losing my mind. I'm just doing what I can in an effort to resolve it. I've searched all of the areas where I've been today and yesterday, just to check in case I dropped it. And now I'm going back up another 2 hours to see if I left it at this ATM, maybe someone handed it in. I can go to the bank, or I could go to the police as well. And that's typically what we should do in stressful situations. We must try to maintain our composure. Try not to react too emotionally. Because especially after dealing with narcissists, we should know that our emotions, getting angry, getting upset, getting stressed out, that's not going to change anything. That's not just going to magically make my cards fall from the sky and appear in my hands again. If anything, it may have the opposite effect. It's going to leave me unable to think clearly, and I'm not going to respond to the situation rationally. If anything, I would just be out of my mind. I wouldn't know what to do. If I'm over emotional, I might just go and take it out on someone, yell at them, trying to get them to do all of the work for me. But instead, no. I mean, I asked around just to check. Other than that, I'm taking responsibility. I accept that, yes, I have misplaced my cards, and now I'm doing everything that I can to resolve it. And what does this have to do with the narcissist? Well, as we know, just imagine you're a narcissist in this situation. Imagine they were on the other side of the world, no means of payment, they lost their cards, they have no cash. They would probably go insane. I mean, we know what they're like, even with situations that aren't even a big deal. Slight criticism. And they do that because they can't cope with life. They don't know how to deal with it. So they go AWOL. They act crazy, irrational. And then they can't think clearly. They don't respond to the situation in the correct way. Instead, they play the victim and they blame everyone else. They hold everyone else accountable. They expect everyone to do the work for them. This is just what it's like when we deal with narcissists. They turn molehills into mountains because they just can't hack it. They can't deal with life. And it's really horrible when you're dealing with someone like that. It's like every day is so stressful. So many problems. They're like children in adult bodies. They've never grown up. They don't take accountability for where they find themselves. And this is very important for us as well. When you've been involved with a narcissist, you can become quite reactive yourself. They push and provoke us. They try to make us angry or upset. They try to guilt trip us. Anything just to get a response, just to get an emotional reaction, so that they can then calm down and feel better about themselves. So by them provoking us, we can become more reactive. So this is something for all of us to learn from. I mean, I already knew as soon as I saw in my wallet that my card was missing. I knew that if I get stressed out about it, I get over emotional, it's not going to change anything. It's just going to make the situation worse and leave me unable to think clearly. And especially as a man, as men, we need to remain strong, think logically, not overreact. And of course, women, sometimes they naturally get emotional. And that's understandable, it's just the way they are wired. And they need us men to calm them down, to be there as a source of reason. That's what we're supposed to be. And you as a man, when a woman is in your presence, she should feel relaxed, because you should be there to comfort her. Unfortunately, as we know, with narcissistic women, it doesn't matter what you do, they're never going to relax. They just want to provoke you. They want to get you upset, and that's the only way that they are ever going to calm down. But what is really the worst is narcissistic men. They're so hypersensitive and over emotional. They will panic over any little thing. I mean, that's just really crazy, and I'm sure a lot of the women who are watching this right now can relate to it. It's like you're dealing with a big baby. I mean, this man, he's meant to be there for you. He's meant to comfort you. I mean, of course, a relationship should be 50-50. There should be an equal exchange of value. But if you're upset about something as a woman, he should be there to calm you down. If you're dealing with a narcissistic man, he will always be having these blow-ups. It's like he can't manage his own life. But myself, as you know, I've been through so many different situations, so many different things going on. No matter what happens, I still get back up. I still keep trying. I never give up. And I never make a big fuss about it. I never get on you and start crying and complaining. And I don't do that outside of YouTube as well. I never do. Because what is the point? It's not going to change anything. It's just going to make the situation worse. You know, I really feel for the women who are watching this right now, and you've dealt with a narcissistic man. These emotional toddlers, they're like big babies. They overreact to everything. They're so sensitive. I mean, when you look at it, they're even more sensitive than a woman. Now, that's not meant to be an insult or anything to any women who are watching this. Of course, women, they should be sensitive. They should be caring and nurturing. But for a man, men should not be reacting in that way. They should have control over their lives, and they should be creating a safe and comfortable space for their woman. That's what they should be doing. Because as men, we should understand that yes, women are sensitive. They are emotional at times, especially if it's that time of the month, of course. That's natural for a woman. It's not natural for a man, though. But that's not to take anything away from male victims of narcissistic abuse as well. Because for the male victims who are watching this right now, I know you know what I'm talking about. When the female narcissist provokes you, she always tries to get under your skin. She does everything she can to make you to react. And she's never there to comfort you. She doesn't understand your emotions. Because yes, as men, we do have emotions too. And that's normal. As long as we're not like loose cannons, constantly having these blow-ups every day. Because that's really the difference. With narcissists, they take it to the extreme. As I said in the title, they turn molehills into mountains. And it's like no matter what, they're never seeking a resolution. They don't want the external environment to be calm and functional, because they have all of this internal chaos inside. So the more functional the external environment is, the more chaotic and out of control they feel inside. They need the external environment to reflect how they feel internally. And then they can relax. Then they're comfortable. It's not comfortable for you though, is it? When someone doesn't consider your feelings and needs, they can't put themselves in your shoes because they lack empathy. It's a horrible thing to go through. And I just think back with the narcissist that I was dealing with. I can't even imagine what it would be like if one of those narcissists was sitting next to me right now. It would be chaotic. As I said, I've lost my debit card somewhere. It's the only card I've got left. All I've got is $20 in cash. No money for food. Driving for 2 hours now. It's 9 p.m. at night. I'm on the other side of the world from where I live. And at the same time, when driving a car, it needs fuel. Just imagine if I had a narcissist with me right now. They would be losing their minds. They wouldn't know what to do. They wouldn't have any patience. They wouldn't be thinking, all right, okay, let's just wait until we drive to this location, get some sleep. Maybe we can recover the card in the morning. Maybe open up a bank account here. Maybe there's some other way. A narcissist isn't going to be thinking like that. They're going to be going crazy, shifting the blame onto everyone else. Or if it was your mistake, they're really going to come down on you. They're going to make you feel like you're such a bad person. Even though you just made a mistake, it happens. We all make mistakes sometimes, it's okay. But it doesn't feel okay though, does it? When you're dealing with a narcissist. It's never okay with them. You're not allowed to get anything wrong. In their minds, they're perfect. They have this false character. So they hold you up to very high expectations. Even though if you look at it, it seems they make more mistakes than anyone else. They just know how to deflect it and to shift the blame, avoid any accountability. And because of that, they never change or grow. They just stay the same for the rest of their lives. They just go around blaming everyone else. So what are we talking about here? What qualities am I describing? I guess I'm describing emotional stability, discipline and control, being able to manage your emotions, having patience, recognizing that none of us are perfect, we all make mistakes. But of course, a narcissist cannot do that. And we all know what they're like. We all know how they behave. We all know how difficult they are to deal with. For me, this is just a part of the adventure. It really is, after everything I've dealt with narcissists. Because I already know maybe in a few months I'm going to look back, I'm going to watch this video again. Because those of you who don't know, I actually do look back over my old videos. I like to see what I've said in the past, if it was accurate, compared with everything I've researched and learned up until this point. So I use my past videos to improve. And also it's nice just to see what I was doing back then, where I was, whether I was in the UK, in Wales, England or Scotland, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, Japan, South Korea, wherever I was. It's always nice to look back and see how far that I have come. And to know that despite all of the problems and difficulties that I have gone through in my life, I'm still here, I'm still living. I still manage to experience happiness and peace within myself. It's always good to look back at our past and everything we went through, because it reminds us if we managed to get through that, and maybe we're going through something right now, we can get through this as well. I mean, that's really it. No matter what you go through in life, no matter how hard it gets, no matter what happens, life doesn't just stop. It's not just the be all and end all. Life keeps going. Whatever happens that same day, you're going to go to sleep, you're going to lay in your bed, you're going to wake up the next day and the day starts again. And not only that, but what you're worrying about right now, it's likely that you're not going to be worried about it in a few weeks or a few months. There's going to be different problems, different difficulties, because that is just a part of life as well. Nothing's perfect. There's always going to be things that go wrong. As I've said before, life is 90% of what happens to us. Actually, no. It's 10% of what happens to us and 90% of how we react to it. Because things will go wrong, things will happen. But what can change or improve that situation is how you choose to respond. That can change everything. And as I've said in another video before as well, you can have two people who are going through the exact same situation. And one person may be pessimistic. They may think about it negatively. And because of that, they might experience a negative effect. It might not turn out in the way that they want it to. But then someone else who is going through the exact same situation, they may have a more positive mindset, and because of that, they get a more positive effect. Of course, that's not to say that we should all be positive when we are dealing with narcissists, because that's not going to change anything. That is actually toxic positivity, because you can't control what they do. You could be positive all you want, it might give them supply, but it's not going to change their behaviors. They're still going to be the same. And you're just going to be pulling the wool over your own eyes. You're not even going to see what they're doing to you. So be aware of that as well. Toxic positivity around narcissists. And they can be that way as well with us. They can have this toxic positivity. It's like they look at us like we're these cartoon characters, like something out of Tom and Jerry. And in their minds they have this magical where it's like No matter what they do to us, no matter how they treat us, they think everything's just going to go back to normal. They think we're going to be okay. We're not going to suffer from any serious health issues. Things are just going to continue in the same way that they always have. And that's just magical thinking. They're delusional. To think that they can just treat us however they like, and things are just going to continue as normal. It doesn't work that way. If you beat someone down bad enough, sometimes they can't just come back. And they can't continue to meet your needs and give you supply. Narcissists don't think that way, though. As we know, there is this difference in their brains which separates us from them. Because they don't typically think before they act. They can be very impulsive. When they do something, they're not thinking about the after effects. They're not thinking about what are going to be the consequences of their actions. And this is why they engage in such foolish behavior. And often it's self-destructive as well. They end up shooting themselves in the foot. Because they look at us like these cartoon characters. It's like Tom and Jerry. And they think no matter how bad they beat us down, somehow we're just going to get back up. We're going to continue as normal and everything is going to be okay. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. And when that happens, they get scared. They want to run away. They just want to leave you to it on your own. As I've said before, when you finally give up, they ghost you, they discard you, they go and find someone else, or they blame you for everything, they start a smear campaign against you. There's nothing you can do to please or satisfy a narcissist. No matter what you do, it will never be enough for them. They will never be happy. They will never feel like they've got to give anything back to you. They're always going to want more. And they're never going to be satisfied with anything that they get. So you can keep running on this hamster wheel. You can keep jumping through hoops in an effort to please them. But I can tell you right now, before you go and waste all your time doing that, it's not going to make any difference. You're not going to experience a sense of resolve. If you want to change your situation, if you want to feel better, happier, more comfortable, don't look to the narcissist and try to change them. You can't. Instead of wasting your energy on them, use that energy for yourself. Just give a fraction of that energy to yourself and you can change everything. But no matter what you do for them, nothing is going to change. They're always going to be the same. Sometimes it takes us a long time to realize this truth. We waste all of our time, energy, money, gets us nowhere. It doesn't change anything. And as I've said before, the reason why no matter what you do for the narcissist, no matter how much you try to make them happy, the reason why nothing changes is because they're a bad investment. You're investing all of your treasures into something that has no value. So over time, you will see that your value begins to diminish the longer that you spend around them. Because you're investing everything into them, and they're a bad investment. So you're just depleting yourself because you're giving everything out and you're getting nothing back. Which is why we need to learn to give these valuable assets that we have, our time, our money, our energy, our resources. We have to invest these things into the right people and the right places, even if it's just into ourselves. Because those of you who are watching this right now, you do have a lot of value. But the narcissist saw this. They realized that they could get a good ROI with you. That's why they invested their time into you. Because they knew that it was going to pay off. So sometimes we need to take a leaf out of their book and see that it's paying off for them to invest their time into us. So just imagine what we could gain by investing our time into ourselves. Just imagine the ROI that we could get on that. Because we are very valuable people. The narcissist sees that. It's time that we see it ourselves, so that we stop making the same mistakes again and again, expecting to get something back from something that has no value. And in fact, it's a void. No matter how much value you pour into it, it's just going to disappear without a trace. You're not going to see it again. And again, this is why they turn molehills into mountains. Because they're seeking energy. They're seeking supply, validation from you. They want you to make everything better for them. They parentify you. When you're with a narcissist, it's like you're constantly the shoulder for them to cry on. It's like that's your only purpose in the relationship. It's not like two adults where you're replenishing each other and you're building something together. It's never like that with a narcissist. It's always one person getting the short end of the stick. One person being drained of their life and energy. And of course, that person is you. That's why you're watching my videos. It's time we stop being that person for the narcissist. Because that's not getting us anywhere. We're not getting what we want. They're never going to be a shoulder for you to cry on. They're never going to provide you with any emotional support. And even when you try to run in the other direction, to just attend to your own emotions, they're just going to blame you for that as well. There's really no winning with them. And it's really crazy when you think about it. It's like they expect you to completely neglect yourself, while at the same time provide them with everything that they need. And this is how you know that they are completely delusional. Because just think about that for a moment. If you're not pouring anything into your own cup, how are you going to have anything to give to them? That really doesn't make any sense. I mean, if it's a logical person who is in a sane state of mind, they're going to be trying to replenish you. Or at the very least, they're going to give you time to replenish yourself. They're going to let you do that. Because they're going to connect the dots. They're going to make the connection and realize that, yes, if you have the time and space to replenish yourself, you're going to have a lot more to give to them. I mean, that's just how any normal, rational person is going to think. But as we know with narcissists, they don't think that way. And in the end, it's like they're just kicking a horse when it's down. They're just completely stupid. You would think that if they even had a brain, they would give you some time, they would give you some space. They would try to replenish you as well. But then that's the thing. They really can't replenish you. They have a void. They don't have anything to give to you other than an illusion. All they can do is reflect back to you your own qualities and virtues. And by doing that, they're expending what little energy they have. All of their energy goes into the illusion to sustain it. And a lot of that energy, it's coming from you anyway. And when they expend that energy, even though it's just something they got from you, they see it as though they've given that to you and now they're expecting a payout. They're expecting even more from you. There's really no winning with them. I've never heard of anyone in over 5 years of research and with a lifetime of experience with narcissists, I've never heard of anyone winning with a narcissist. The longer they spend with them, they all end up losing. The longer they spend, they just end up losing more. And it just sustains this illusion that the narcissist is winning, that there's nothing wrong with them. But in the end, they end up losing because it's self-destructive. Well, the victim, once we take some time out to heal, we get back to ourselves. It's quite amazing what we can accomplish. I mean, as you may know, when I left the narcissist in my life, I started this YouTube channel. I started coaching people. And within just 3 years, I then became a millionaire by the age of 33. I had already made $1 million. And before that, my entire life, when I was dealing with narcissists, I had so many problems. It's like I was stuck working these jobs. I mean, I was waking up 7 o'clock in the morning, starting work at 8. I would finish at 5 or 6 p.m. and then I'd go straight to deliver pizzas for Domino's Pizza. I was just making ends meet. And then when I didn't have those jobs, as I've said before, I was out of work for 3 years. I couldn't even find a job because I was dealing with a smear campaign as well. But it's really amazing what we can accomplish when we finally leave these narcissists behind. And I really like sharing my story with you, just to let you know that it is possible. You'd be surprised with what you can accomplish. Many of you, you've been devalued by the narcissist, and it resulted in you underestimating yourself. But you really got to look back and think. I mean, just remember what narcissists are like. If you can sustain a narcissist for that amount of time, you must be a pretty incredible person. Because remember, they have a void and they lack empathy. They don't do anything for you. You're sustaining this person who can't even sustain themselves. And at the same time, you're somehow managing to get by. So for you to do that, you must be a very powerful person. Remind yourself of that every day. Just imagine if you took all of that energy that you're giving to them. Just imagine what you could accomplish if you gave that energy to yourself. Just think about that for a moment. And that's really what we need to do. We need to give this energy to ourselves. You'd be surprised what you can accomplish just after a few months. Just from being away from them. And it doesn't always have to be in your career. It could just be in your health and well-being. I mean, even when they stop abusing us, like when they provoke us to react and then they calm down and they stop abusing us just for a moment. It could just be for a few minutes. Those few minutes are like bliss. They really are. I mean, I remember when I was being abused by narcissists, and then maybe I got a moment, some time to myself. I'd go and get a massage. And it's just incredible how I felt in that moment. Just the feelings and sensations. It's like I was hypersensitive to touch. Because I was emotionally starved. And I was starved of affection. So to just go and get a massage and that feeling that came along with it, it was incredible. I felt like I could do anything. Like everything was perfect in the world. And that's really how it feels when we do get some time away from the narcissist. In a way, I guess it has the opposite and unintended effects or consequence. Because what they're trying to do when they abuse you, it's like they never want you to feel any happiness ever again. But what it actually does, we just don't have any happiness or satisfaction when we're around them. But then as soon as we get away from them, it's like we're highly sensitive to anything positive, to any amount of emotional validation, any amount of affection. Maybe your friend gives you a hug, and then it's like this amazing feeling. But just know as well, even if you are alone, you can give that to yourself. There's nothing stopping you from giving yourself a hug or from validating yourself. And you can also get on and watch my videos or other YouTubers as well. All of these things will validate you. And that's really what you need when you've been involved with narcissists. You just need that validation. And it's a horrible experience once you've been discarded by them, when you've managed to pull away. You experience this pathological loneliness. It's like you just desire some company. And it can quite easily cause you to get involved with another narcissist. Because it's like at times you're just seeking some affection. It's like you just want someone to put their arms around you and to tell you that everything's going to be okay. And honestly, I was thinking about this the other day. I think it was David DeMar's coaching. He was talking about how victims of narcissistic abuse, we experience a deficiency in oxytocin. And he was talking about how we should go and get a prescription for oxytocin tablets. And I was just thinking, I wish I could offer a service to survivors of narcissistic abuse. Well, I could just offer free hugs. I think that would be really amazing. And I think it would help a lot of people as well. Because that's really what we need, is just someone that we can trust. That's why so many people gravitate towards my videos. Because they feel like they can trust me. They feel like I'm someone who's not going to judge them. Someone who's going to listen to them and validate their experiences. And that's really what I strive to do. But yeah, it's very true what David said in this video. You will experience a deficiency in oxytocin. And it's great if you have a family member or a friend that you can trust. Someone who's there just to give you a hug. Someone to validate your experiences. And what can help as well is even if you just have a pet. If you have a cat or a dog, give your cat or your dog a cuddle. Or as we say in Wales, give them a cwtch. It's great just to have that affection with someone you love, someone you care about. But of course you don't want that person to be the narcissist. They're just going to manipulate you again. But I know what that's like as well. When you try to move on from the narcissist, and it's like maybe you see someone who looks a bit like them, or as well they may just have that same narcissistic attitude, but they're like very grandiose, they're so arrogant, so entitled, and it's so weird. But even though it's like that's just what you ran away from, it's almost like it still seems attractive to you. And it's like you want it, you crave it. It's almost like a turn on. And it's like you just want to go and sleep with someone with that type of attitude again. Yes, I know what that's like. I've experienced that as well. And it has such a pull. When you see someone with this over-the-top, grandiose attitude, they're just so arrogant and entitled. It just pulls you back in. Because as an empath, it's like you want it, you need it. You just want to be there to help, to soothe them, to comfort them. And in some ways as well, it's like you want them to be this person who is impossible to please. But then it's like finally you get it right, you figure it out. You can make them happy. But then it's like it's just a trick and the cycle starts all over again. Yes, I know what that's like. I remember when I left the narcissist that I was dealing with, she didn't even discard me. I was the one who got fed up and left. And even after all of the things she did to me, I remember there was someone, I was just out having a good time, swimming in the pool. I think I was in Sri Lanka. And then I just heard this voice. Someone with the same accent. Someone of the same race, the same ethnicity, quite possibly the same age as well. With the same level of arrogance and entitlement. They were yelling, shouting, complaining about something. And it was so weird, but I just felt this intense sexual attraction towards them. It really just pulled me in. And I knew straight away, that is the trauma bond. That's what it is. And those of you who have experienced it, you will know that it is very powerful. But of course, at this point, I have healed to some extent. And I'm able to think clearly. I'm able to recognize that although it may feel like it sometimes, going back into it, trying to soothe and comfort this person, that's not going to change anything. It's not going to make the situation right. If anything, it's just going to put us back in our healing. It's going to make things worse for us. What you need to do is heal and find someone who is more like yourself. Someone who can be satisfied. Maybe another empath. When you do that, you will realize why it never worked out with a narcissist. Then you will understand. I'm just enjoying talking with you as I'm driving. It's 10 p.m. now here. I actually still don't know where I'm going. Hopefully tomorrow I will find my card somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'll keep you updated, and hopefully somehow I will figure things out. But yeah, I'd just like to thank you all for joining me on this little road trip. I do appreciate you all, and you can show your support down below by giving this video a thumbs up. I do appreciate your support. And let me know your feedback in the comments. Hit that subscribe button down below as well if you haven't subscribed yet. And then you will receive notifications for my future videos. And if you need more support, you can book a coaching session with me. It's one-on-one. You can book it on my website. It's narcsurvivor.co.uk. And you can also follow me on Instagram. I've got pictures and videos of my travels, which I post to my story every day on there. It's Narc Survivor YouTube and Instagram. Follow me on there. Other than that, that's all I've got to say for this one. I hope you've enjoyed this little car journey. And as always, I will talk to you in another video very soon.